welcome back to the messy room that I live in. Oh geez, I need to clean it, and that's not really the only thing I need to clean, because yeah, you've read the title. Why do I even bother trying to make these cool? Yeah, you know what I'm about to talk about, intros, even though it's clearly in the title. I should just get right to it. But anywho, let's get right to it. So in today's vlog, I'm going to talk about something that I've noticed has been becoming a little bit of an issue. It's not a major one, like honestly guys, I'm not sick, I'm healthy, I'm just fine. Well, healthy with an asterisk. But there is something that I've been beginning to notice that I'm kind of getting a tad concerned. I'm not too worried about it, but it's caught my attention. Quite often, family members and various other friends, they used to call out how thin I was, even though I could eat so much. Seriously, I could eat so much and yet still retain that thinness. I can't believe what I used to be able to do. But emphasis on what I used to be able to do. Unfortunately, that ability has been wearing off. I'm not entirely too sure why, but there could be a few factors that are obvious, others maybe not so much, but I am noticing that I'm starting to put on a little bit of weight, and yeah, I don't like that. I've been trying to grow upwards, because right now I'm 5'8". Yes, 5'8". That is below the average height of the male adult. So yeah, that kind of sucks. So I've been trying to grow upwards, but instead I'm growing outwards. That's not really where I want to be growing, if I'm being honest. So yeah, you can take a look at me right now. As you can see, you can't really notice anything. I mean, do you? I'm looking in the camera right now, and I look in the mirror most of the time, and actually, yeah, you don't really notice it. It's actually because, oh boy, I start to notice it when I touch the shirt, and oh, there's something like right up against it. It blends in so well that most people don't notice, so I do a really good job of hiding it. Most people don't know this, but yeah, I'm now up to touching the shirt at least, and when I look down, I notice it, but most people don't, and I guess I'm lucky about that, but still, I gotta start losing a few pounds, because I've actually weighed myself a couple times and I've done nothing but gaining weight, and part of it involves what I do for work, part of it doesn't. I've talked about it so many times. I work in a machine shop, so you would think, well, you're lifting heavy things all the time in a machine shop, right? So you gotta be active, you gotta be fit, right? Yeah, about that. Working in a machine shop isn't exactly what you think. Most of the time, I'm operating CNC machines, meaning I'm standing at a computer and watching it do its thing. Yeah, just standing there. Whenever I lift anything heavy, and I have to admit, Friday was a new realization for me. Ever since I went to work at the machine shop, I was given a test. Could I lift up? It's called a vise. It's a tool that holds material to the table of a machine, for example. It's called a vise. That thing is extremely heavy. Like, when I first tried to pick it up, I could lift one end, but I couldn't pick up the other end and carry it in space. That thing was way too heavy. And just the other day, we were going to clean the machine, and we took the vise off the table. Well, actually, I should say, I took the vise off the table, and I noticed, whoa, that didn't feel so heavy this time. For so long, I have had so many issues trying to pick that thing up, to the point where I had to ask for someone stronger than me to actually pick up the vise. Except that day was the first time I have ever picked up that vise and carried it with ease by myself. So, okay, fitness regards, improving in a few areas, not necessarily in others. So I guess to start off explaining some other details, I'm pretty much going to state where I'm currently at right now in terms of like weight and such, what I currently notice with belly fat and such. So with that, as I mentioned, belly fat, I'm literally up to the shirt, to the point it's not noticeable, but I'm still up to the shirt, to the point where, okay, I can easily feel a bulge there, even though it's not noticeable. So there's that. And in terms of my weight, I just weighed myself before I filmed this video, and I'm roughly about 135, 140 pounds, somewhere in there. Not too bad considering my height and such, but I mean, I'm getting a little on the heavy side, as I've noticed. And like in other details, like plopping into my chair and such, or just stepping on the floor, I notice, yeah, I don't feel as light as I used to. As well as even trying to lift myself up. Oh gosh, I cannot lift myself. There's a few aspects there that I've noticed, and before you guys think, no, usually I don't care about this. I genuinely don't, and I'm not really stressing it that much. I honestly don't care too much, but I'm noticing some signs that I'm trending in a not good direction. I'm not at that bad place yet. I'm not in a bad place yet, but I'm noticing some signs with myself that I'm not trending in the right direction, and that's not good. So because of that, I'm going to take a few measures to make sure I just don't go into that area. I'm not trying to lose like a ton of weight and such, because I'm very close to a healthy weight actually, but I still want to get rid of like that belly fat, for example. It does me no good. Seriously, it does doesn't. So trying to get rid of that belly fat, like take off maybe 5-10 pounds, nothing serious to be honest. And also just another thing I need to work on, closing my rings. Yes, this is the reason why I got an Apple Watch. It's primarily because I'm not doing a good job in terms of keeping fit. I've been closing my standing ring basically every day, except that's kind of easy because most of what I do in the shop is I stand at a machine. Yeah, standing at a machine. That's what I do. So because of that, the standing ring, that's easy to close all the time. No big issues there. It's the other two rings that I have a problem with, and oh, this is embarrassing. I've mentioned this before, and I better mention it again. I currently have the other two rings, the move ring and the exercise ring. They're currently at their lowest settings. Yes, 30 minutes of exercise a day, 320 calories to burn, and I still don't close those rings every day. I know, it's bad. I am so bad when it comes to exercising. That is another thing I need to work on. I'm going to work on closing my rings every day, and I'm going to set a reminder for myself, hey, make sure your rings are closed. And if they're not, we'll find a way to close them. And then eventually, once closing them starts to become easier and such, then I guess I might as well increase those goals because, well, sticking at the basic 320 calories to burn every day, yeah, not the best idea. So we'll work on that. We're getting some of those details worked on, but closing the rings, that's something I'm going to start doing to make sure I get myself in check. I'm not too concerned about weightlifting that much because, like I mentioned, I used to not be able to pick up that vice at all, and I did just fine. So, okay, there's that. The other things that I need to do a better job at walking my dogs because they need a walk. They really do. They're Siberian Huskies. They live to pull your wrist off, quite literally, actually. Ouch. But yeah, I still need to do a better job at walking them further, especially if I'm thinking I'm the one who's gaining weight. I'm not the only one who's gaining weight. My own dog is gaining weight. Yes, he's a bit heavy and chunky. So we've been trying to exercise him. And then Marley, on the other hand, that's my other one. Oh, she needs the exercise too because, yeah, she's becoming a bit lazy and kind of needs the workouts. Jack and Marley, they need their walks. I need my walks. So I guess in a sense, I like to think of it as we're walking each other, quite literally. The trick is we need to do it longer because that's typically how I often close my rings. Not all the time. Like, for example, if it's raining or if it looks like it's going to rain, the walks are typically cut short because I hate getting wet. Yeah. That, and it also closes off the snowmobile trails, which we live close to. So because it closes off the snowmobile trails due to the puddles everywhere and such, yeah, we end up having to stick to the road, and we don't usually like to because of the constant traffic. But anywho, yeah, need to work on walking my dogs a lot more, and I just need to do a better job at being active because if you actually take a look at my current lifestyle, here's what I do. Wake up, eat a bagel. Yes, I don't have time for a real breakfast anymore. I basically eat a bagel. Sometimes I don't even eat breakfast at all. So I'll eat a bagel. Sometimes I won't. Go into work, essentially for, well, my part-time hours. Every now and then I do the full day, but I really do not like to do it. I go crazy. Come home, try to plan a few videos, assuming that they go right. And if I got no ideas, well, I study the internet and look for ideas because I can't generate all my ideas, and considering I don't really have much of a budget, I can't really expand into original ideas. So quite often I have to spend time looking at the news, watching some YouTube to get news and learn something new perhaps. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. Go to work, come home, do some YouTube research. If I can find something that's absolutely worth making a video of, then I'll make that video. And then dinner usually rolls around. I go walk the dogs, at least I try to. And then basically come home, edit videos until late at night, and then go to sleep and gain like 6 hours per night. Yay! Sometimes I have to throw in a lawn or two, but that's basically what my schedule's been looking like. Basically wake up, go to work, come home, do YouTube research. If you can find something interesting enough, make a video, and the rest is all self-explanatory. So not very active if I'm being honest. And no, not even my job is very active because when I am there, I'm not walking around all over the place. It's either I'm sitting at my desk doing some programming or CAD work, or I'm standing at a machine running a machine. There's not much walking around. So in terms of exercise, I gotta find a way to improve upon exercising, moving around, because I don't do much of it. I really don't do enough. I need to start doing that. And in terms of diet, I'm going to start talking about that right now, I guess. So So I'm usually not too bad when it comes to eating junk food, as one might think. And if I'm being honest, guys, and I'm truly being honest with you, I prefer fruit over candy. I'm not joking to you. I'm not lying. I prefer fruit over candy. So while most people would like to snack on chocolate bars or M&Ms and such like that, nope, not me. I usually like to dig into the grapes and apples because, well, fruit is much healthier than candy and it still tastes sweet. So you're basically getting natural sugars and not the crap that you buy from the store, like candy bars and chocolate. So I'm already doing a good job with that, except, well, there are times when I falter. Sometimes, like every now and then when I go to the gas station to refuel Red Fox, sometimes I feel so tired and I just need a little bit of energy to get me through the day, if you know what I mean. Yeah, sometimes I'll buy like a bag of M&Ms, a small one. It's not the share size or anything. It's just like the smallest bag they have because I know I don't need that many, but still, yeah, sometimes I buy that even though honestly I really don't need it. And then I usually get it for road trips. I usually reserve it for road trips, except I kind of been doing a bad job at reserving it for road trips. You may have seen a few of these pop up in a few videos, and it's because, yeah, I tend to drink a lot of this, and I know I should not be. I try to reserve the root beer for mostly on road trips because I'm sitting in the car, I'm so drowsy and tired. A lot of people, when they go on road trips, they like to get these super high energy drinks that are just so unhealthy for you, like these Bangs and Monsters and stuff. It's just, I don't know how people drink that stuff because they're so caffeinated and so sugary and just so unhealthy. But however, I get it. Driving can get pretty boring. Try driving on the Sini stretch in Michigan. Oh gosh, is that so boring. So to counteract that, I try my best to reserve the root beer for road trips and the occasional party because, well, I don't go to parties that often. Still, I try to reserve the pop and soda for that. Except sometimes I don't do that good of a job because I don't want to make this excuse of I'm human and such, but that's kind of basically it. So yeah, I like root beer a lot. And my problem is I really prefer it over water, and that's not a healthy thing because, yeah, you know, that's another thing to talk about. Water. I do not drink enough water. I'm not joking. I have this problem where, unfortunately, school had enforced me to get in this habit. Yes, I could have technically brought a water bottle to school and such, except most of the time that wasn't practical. I had to find space for it, except it was always taking up space on the desk. So then I'd have to set it to the side and oops, I'd forget it's even there in the first place. So I never found it practical to take a water bottle to school. So every single time I basically got water from the fountain. And when do you get water from the fountain? Once an hour. You basically only have 5-minute opportunities to get water, aside from lunch, which is mostly when I get my water. But yeah, those 5-minute opportunities where you have to first travel through busy schoolways and then head to your locker, grab all your other stuff, travel back through busy schoolways, use the bathroom. There's not much time to actually get a drink of water. So because of that, I guess the best way I'll say it is it's kind of trained me to not have as much water, even though, yeah, that's not healthy. Because actually, my mom in particular has noticed some other issues. I haven't really because I don't know what it affects, but supposedly my mom has noticed some particular issues when it comes to me not drinking enough water. How do I know this? We actually went to a doctor to do a test, and evidently, yeah, a big reason why something's wrong is because I'm not drinking enough water. Except I don't know how to remind myself because I really don't want like a notification to go off every hour saying, make sure you drink water, make sure you drink water. Oh, that, and how many water bottles have you guys lost? Yeah, I basically lost every single one. This current water bottle I'm on, it has been around for actually about a year, except I bought another one because I had lost that one temporarily, and then, oh yeah, I lost that other one that I used to replace the one I'm currently using. I lose them all the time. So I guess I'm gonna have to get an air tag for that now. So yeah, that's basically all the stuff that's going on. In terms of diet, I mean, I've done a decent job laying off the sweets. It's really the pop and such that I need to do a better job at laying off on because, oh man, these really do taste good. And that's because primarily in terms of drinks, there's not many drinks I'm really a fan of, like water. I know water's good for you, and there are times where, yeah, I'll actually want water because I'm dehydrated. That's pretty much the only time I'll drink it. But the reason why I don't like drinking water is because there's not really much flavor. A substitute that my mom has discovered, I gotta figure out where she bought that stuff. She bought some fizzy water, carbonated water, and basically mixed in root beer stevia drops. It really does. It really tastes like root beer, which is great. I love it when it's flavored because I hate flavorless things. That's why I do not like vegetables. I still eat my veggies, but I don't like vegetables because I actually don't taste flavor in them, just like I don't taste flavor in water. The pop is the biggest thing I need to lay off. I need to start drinking more water. I have not been doing a good job doing that. I mean, in terms of my meals and such that I eat every day, like morning, I'll have a bagel because it's the quickest thing I could possibly make. Sometimes I'll have toast, but I need to make sure I have jam with it. But yeah, it's mostly a bagel or a piece of toast because I do not have time for breakfast in the mornings anymore. I just do not. So bagel or toast. Lunch, I have a couple different options, but I'm a bit bland on those options too, and it's primarily because, again, I need it to be quick. Depending on when I go in for work, sometimes I go into work in the morning, sometimes in the afternoon. It depends on the situation. But when I go into work in the morning and I need a lunch, most of the time I don't even pack my own. I just actually run down to Subway. Yes, not any other fast food place, because I don't need deep fried anything. Believe it or not, I do prefer Subway over other fast food restaurants. I do. I think it tastes better. So oftentimes I'll quickly run down to Subway and get a healthy mix of meats, veggies. Yeah, I suppose they don't really put any fruits. The only thing, oh, well, I guess there's the tomato, except no, I really do not like tomatoes, even though I like pizza sauce. Oh, I'm so picky with my food. But yeah, most of the time it's basically switched to, okay, when it's lunchtime, I basically go on break and run down to Subway and pick up a quick sandwich, and it's decent. It's got a healthy amount of meats and veggies as well. Yep, if you want to know my favorite sub, by the way, my favorite sub is a foot-long Italian BMT on Italian bread. So yeah, Italian bread, and the BMT is basically including the meats of ham, salami, and pepperoni. Those are my favorite meats. I have cheddar cheese on top of it, and then for veggies, I have lettuce, black olives, and pickles, and then just a little bit of mayo on top. That's my sandwich that I order every single time I go to Subway because, oh man, it tastes so good. And compared to what all the other fast food places offer, most of what they offer is not good because it's quite often deep fried and such. So Subway's the best place to go for that. But when I don't go to Subway, because I don't need to spend money every time I eat lunch and such. Whenever I eat lunch at home per se, quite often it's pasta, because pasta is one of my favorites. But even though, yeah, I should be having more than just carbs, because bread, it's all carbs, toast, carbs, jam, carbs. Yeah, I need to find a better lunch that also contains protein. But most of the time when I have lunch, it's often going to Subway, and I get a lot of protein from the sandwiches because I order a lot of meats in mine. Often when I'm at home eating lunch, quite often it's pasta with either grapes, but I also try to spring for apples and peanut butter because, yeah, gotta get those proteins and such. So peanut butter is the best way I get my proteins at lunch if I'm not having a sandwich. And then when it comes to dinner, that is totally up to what the family has. But luckily, the one who typically cooks dinner always has a healthy balance of all different foods. So we're good with that. And last thing, dessert. I do a decent job on limiting my desserts to something once per week. I usually do a good job with that. Sometimes I'll do twice a week, but I don't splurge on desserts every day. So yeah, you might think, my diet sounds good, it sounds healthy, right? But why am I complaining about getting fat and such? Well, one, the sodas. I need to lay off of those. But two, I'm very inactive. I need to get more active because most of my time is spent sitting at a desk, staring at a machine, sitting at a different desk. You get the point. I'm not very active. So that's the biggest thing I need to work on. I need to work on laying off on the sweets, just the sodas. I've already done a decent job laying off on sweets in general, but still laying off on the sodas, and I need to get more active. I also need to drink more water too, because evidently I do such a bad job with that. But okay, that is my current health status. I'll let you know on any changes that I might notice, because yeah, I've noticed I've been trending in the wrong direction and it's not good. And the biggest reason why I'm trending in the wrong direction isn't necessarily my diet, it's primarily just because I'm inactive. I'm going to do a better job laying off on the sodas, except for this weekend because we're going on a long road trip again. Yeah, I'll splurge on that. But once we're done with the trips and such, yeah, I need to cut it out. And okay, I better take these bottles back to recycling. So I'll check back in. Yeah, I'm trying to also hold myself accountable by having it public on YouTube and such, because seriously, if I try to say I'm going to do this, I never hold myself accountable and never do it. So if I'm going to do something to improve myself, I need to hold myself accountable, and this is the best way I found to do it. So yeah, you guys also hold me accountable to this as well. All right, so I'll check back in per se a month. I think I'll reevaluate how I'm doing in a month. I'll try different ways to be active. Yeah, that's basically it. All right, thank you for watching. Do me a favor and interact with the stuff below. My name is Alpha Day Wolf, Random Alpha, signing out.